Hey there, I'm Honor Janetsky from Awakened Motherhood, where we're helping moms break free from anxiety and overwhelm and awaken to everyday joy. Welcome to the channel. We're going to explore two things today. When your body talks to you, when it's telling you that it's anxious or wound up or tense, then there is a, a, a thing most people do. This is like what not to do. And I'm going to lay this out so you can make sure you're not making this mistake. And then we're going to talk about the things, productive things to do that will reduce your anxiety or connect you with a solution. And so, number one, I first want to talk about this recognition, this moment when you realize, oh, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling tense, I'm feeling worked up, I don't feel good, I'm feeling stressed. Okay, so first of all, raise your hand if you are aware when you feel anxious. So put a little click the like button or put a raised hand in the comments if you're aware, and some of you may not be, and there's no right or wrong about this. This is where you are in your journey towards self-awareness. If you notice when you feel stressed, if you notice when you feel anxious, if you notice maybe it's after the fact, after you've snapped at someone, but where are you in your life, in your process, when you catch that and are able to go, whoa, I'm stressed out. Whoa, I'm feeling really anxious right now. You may be halfway into a panic attack before you notice you're anxious, where someone else might notice when they feel a slight heaviness in their chest. That, wow, I'm starting to feel stressed or out of balance or anxious. We all have different levels of awareness. And so the more you practice this, the stronger it grows. First, just take a moment to check in and go, how do I know when I'm feeling anxious? So let's talk about a few ways. One, hard to breathe, pressure on the chest. I have a head cold right now, so that one comes to mind first. Feeling, had a couple nights there where I woke up thinking, wow, I have to kind of like really relax to be able to breathe. Heaviness or tightness in the shoulders and neck. You may feel a sense of, I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, on my back. A lot of people feel that way. A lot of the moms who I speak to feel that way. Tired, fatigue, energy draining from you. That's another way that people feel anxiety. Just flat out scared, afraid, fear in your belly, fear in your chest, frozen. Everyone's heard fight or flight. There are also more responses than that: fight, flight, freeze, collapse. These are all different kinds of trauma responses or fear-based responses. And so you may fight, you may yell, you may numb out, go into collapse, you may freeze up, tense up, feel yourself stuck. Any of those things. You may hide, avoid. That's flight. Have a flight response. I'm just not going to feel that. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to pretend that's not happening. But your body doesn't so easily forget. The body knows. The body hangs on to these. The body will express to you anxiety that gets stuck in the emotional realm and in the physical realm. Okay, so we got it. You know your signs. Drop one of your signs of anxiety in the chat now. Tell me what that is. Tell me what you notice. I snap at people, so behavior. I feel this sensation in my body: heavy shoulders, tight shoulders. I feel exhausted. I feel irritable. Shows up in the emotions a lot. Irritable, frustration. Okay, got it. Okay, so what not to do and what to do. Now, what most people do is they say, why am I so anxious? Well, I'm anxious because, and we're just going to focus in this short talk on one aspect of what to do and what not to do. And we're going to focus on the thought realm Your mind. So your mind is so powerful. It's not all of you, but it is a powerful tool we have available to us. So we're going to focus on that powerful tool today of the mind, which is the thought realm. So that means what you think, the thoughts you have. Now, most people walking around have no idea the difference between a thought and a feeling or an emotion. You may be one of those people. That is okay. It's good you're here. A thought is something I think that sounds like something I could say. I'm anxious because everyone in my family has anxiety. I just grew up. I'm anxious because I've always been anxious. That's a thought. I'm anxious because my job is so demanding I can't do it all in a day. I'm anxious because my kids are so relentless, right? I'm anxious because my kids never give me a break. I'm anxious because the world is full of so much uncertainty. I could never feel safe. Okay, what do you notice about all those thoughts? If you're like, yep, all those things fit me, I can check all those boxes. Okay, what's here? Remember, this is under the heading of what not to do. Why? Because if I am pointing to my mom was anxious, so I am. My grandma had anxiety. It's been going on for so long that everybody in my family has anxiety. Of course I have anxiety because the world is an uncertain place. That's global. That's so big. That's also so generalized. None of those things are things I can do anything about. My parents' anxiety, my parents' diagnoses, the fact that these things are, I'm using the word "my" loosely, generalizing among the human experience here. This is not my personal story. That's the caveat. But like I hear this all the time. Oh, my ex is a narcissist. Because my ex is a narcissist, I'm still living in that trauma, even though it's long gone. That person is out of my life, or I don't even have any contact with this person. But because of that, I still have anxiety every day. Okay, do you see how I'm not saying any of these things are easy. I understand relentless kids. I understand narcissism. I understand all the disorders that people in our lives have, all of the quote unquote disorders, the diagnoses, the labels we put on things like ADHD and bipolar disorder and all those things. And what I know is I have no power there. The only place I have power is here. And is here. What am I thinking? What am I holding in my heart? What am I focusing on? I have no power over what my parents' mental constructs are like. I have no power over how relentless my kiddo's temperament is. And I have no power over the many, many chaotic things going on in the world right now. I don't have control of those things, and neither do you. All right, so just to make sure we're all on the same page. Are you with me? If you agree with that, if you see that, and some of you are going to hear this, and you might want to argue with it, and sometimes people do, just like we want to make things more complex than they need to be, because that's what the human brain does, especially the more intelligent you are. That can be a big temptation to want to like really make things more complex. But the truth is that this is very, very simple. If I'm anxious, I am living from a home base of fear. Okay? And so if I'm living from fear, I'm afraid things aren't going to work out. I'm afraid that something's going to come to get me. I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint people. I'm afraid that someone's going to get mad at me. I'm afraid that I'll fail. Big one for those of you who are moms, who are providers for your family. I'm afraid I'm going to fail. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to provide in the way my family needs. That's scary. That just is a real pressure. We feel it in our bodies. We feel it in our mental life and our space. We feel it everywhere. So the reason why focusing there on those thoughts in your mind is not helpful is because they increase fear. They increase the sense of powerlessness and overwhelm. that we're already experiencing when we have anxiety. And they are not at all looking in the one place that we need to be looking to build resilience, which is inside of your own power to choose who you are, how you show up in the world, what you feel, what you think, and what you do. And that, there's a lot there. I just, off the top of my head, listed all those things. Like, there's a lot there. Who you are, what you choose to believe, how you see the world, how you respond to the world, what you choose to create with what you have and what God gave you, what you choose to think about, how you choose to see the good rather than fear. All these things are available to you, and you can control them all. So what to do? Look at what you do have control over. Look at the thoughts that you think in your head. And instead of thinking a thought, or instead of believing a thought you think, because we're all going to think them, that says, well, I'm this way because I've always been this way. What does that even mean? It means I don't believe in change, right? I don't, even though I see change all around me, I don't believe it can come for me. Really, really meet yourself there and go like, why? Why can't I change? I see other people all around me who can change. Why can't I change too? So meet yourself there and go like, why not? Why not me? Why not me with happiness? Why not me with the solution to my problem? Why not me as a success, an accomplished provider for my family? Why not me as a confident mom who knows exactly what her kids need? Why not me as a leader in my family? Why not me as someone who can speak to that fear and say, you know what? That is not the only thing here that's going on. There are other things here that are going on. So the what to do is to really start to pay attention and examine your thoughts. And I've been talking a lot lately about your inner voice and listening to your inner voice. And most of us have a whole peanut gallery of really unhelpful, very limiting, fear-based voices inside that say you're never going to amount to anything, or they say you can't do it, don't even try, or they say this is too good to be true, this idea that you can accomplish what you want, or you're going to fail, you know, all of those really toxic voices that that come from generational voices, people who've lived through a life that that was much harder than this one that we're living through, and we can choose to hear them but not believe them. We can choose to listen with presence and question. We can choose to think a new thought and think a better thought. And none of these things are the magic bullet solution to resolve and end overwhelm and anxiety for good. There's much more that goes into it than this, and a really specific formula for overcoming your negative mindset for good forever. I have that program, but what I'm talking about today is how to meet yourself, if you're not ready for that work, how to meet yourself right where you are today and start to pay closer attention to what is happening inside of your head, inside of your thoughts, to stop your growth, to cause you to be stuck and waste years of your life feeling depressed or anxious, where you could be creating on a much bigger level. You could be living your best life now. And instead, this pattern of thought that says, I can't because of this and that and that and that. And see, there's so much evidence of why I am anxious and scared. Okay, maybe true that up until now that there wasn't another way for you. But here I'm offering you another way today. And so I'm really inviting everyone here to take more action, to interact, to participate. And when I'm giving you a technique or I'm giving you a strategy, test it out in your life and see what happens. See that things will get better. See that your life will start to improve. See that you do have power over yourself, over how you show up in the world, which means how people respond to you. So earlier I said what not to do. I'm this way because of that. But what I am saying to you is I'm this way because of me. I am full of life. I'm full of gratitude. I'm so appreciative. I'm just going to focus on what I appreciate right now. I'm so appreciative of this space, and all of you who are here. I'm so appreciative of the opportunity to speak to you. I'm so appreciative of those of you who are just drinking this in and soaking it up, and it's a light in your life, even though we'll never meet. I'm so thankful for the way it blesses your life. And so the way that consciousness moves through me to really expand you and to create a better world where there's more peace, because there's more love, because there's more trust, and knowing that you are a powerful being. And the more mothers I empower, as we all know, moms make the world go round, the better and healthier and happier and stronger humans will be all around the world. So if I live in that place and I choose to think those thoughts, then I have a greater impact. All of you have a better result. My children feel my sense of purpose, and they know they have a sense of purpose. My partner feels that light as well. So what happens is your family reflects to you what you are being, because whatever you focus on is who you are being. And let there be no mistake about that. Whatever you think and what you feel is the energy you're in. That creates your mood. That creates apathy or irritability or just coasting apathy. Or it creates appreciation and joy and lightness and laughter and fun and connection and availability, presence for your children, so that they get to think that they're and know that they're wonderful, and the love of your life. So again, two things: what not to do and what to do. And just to reiterate, what to do is remember that you have a very powerful tool between your ears, and it is always working. It's always thinking. So you're either in charge of it and using it for good to create the life you want, or you're letting it run you. And most of us are letting it run us and letting it drive the car and decide how much happiness and joy we get to have, how much success we get to have, how much money in the bank, how much love and support we get to receive. And that's just a bunch of BS. You get to decide. So let this talk serve as either a reminder for you, if you've worked with me before, or a wake-up call, maybe even for the first time, to realize that you have so much more power than you may have known up until now. Thanks for being here with me for today's broadcast. If you'd like to subscribe, be sure to hit that button below. And if you want to go ahead and book your clarity call, which you absolutely should do, then you can click my calendar link below, or you can go to www.honorjanetsky.com/call to book your appointment right now. See you next time.